Hi, parents. Coach T Berry here. I wanted to take a minute to have an online parent meeting. Normally, right after tryouts, we'd have all of our parents come in and we would have this nice meeting in the cafeteria. A couple problems there. Our cafeteria is under construction, and the pandemic kind of has a few roadblocks there for us. So I thought I'd make it really easy. And instead of doing a live Zoom, I was just going to record this. That way you can watch it at your leisure and then provide you my information. If you have any questions, you can email me, call me, text me, whatever it is we need to get done. But I do have some notes in front of me. I'm going to go over as much of what I can. We are absolutely thrilled. This week starts games. Everything's kind of coming at us fast, and so fast that we don't quite have all of our answers yet. I'm working very closely with Coach Beaumont and coaches around the area to make sure we are all on the same page. They've been working for weeks. We just have to take things very much day at a time, and everything I tell you right now could completely change tomorrow morning. So we'll just make the best of it, and we'll try to get out as much information. There are still a lot of unknown unknowns right now in regards to how these games will look, what the stands will look like, what pregame, postgame will look like. I'm going through a lot of that information today so that I have a better understanding. I've talked to a few coaches around the area. In fact, we had a group FaceTime on Friday to kind of go over some stuff. So everything's looking good. We're just going to take it a day at a time. So a few things. I do apologize if you hear my children yelling in the background. Nap time means I have approximately 2 hours to get everything I need done for the day before they're awake again. But for those of you that don't know me, I have twin 3-year-old daughters. I am a Fort Smith native. I went to Southside High School and Chaffin Junior High. I also attended IC private school when I was a child. Coach Peyton Northington was Peyton Hamilton. She grew up in the Fort Smith public school system as well and attended Chaffin and Southside. We are thrilled to be a part of Southside High School. I think it is the most amazing school in the state. I may be biased, but I do think we have one of the most amazing educational systems. Our AP classes, our regular ed classes are top notch. Our kids are college ready. And I think that our kids are really getting into a lot of community service and some great experience in how to serve others. So we're going to start with how we operate in Southside volleyball. One of my number one things this year with the girls is communication on our part, communication on their part. It's very, very difficult to run a digital classroom. And I really think that it gets even more difficult when you're doing digital athletics. We were thrown into that head first, and I have to commend your daughters. They have been amazing. They make this job easy. They've answered. And when we have had to have a few tough conversations, they responded. And really, that's all you can ask for as a coach. There's so much uncertainty right now. And when you walk into our gym during practice, you wouldn't know there was a global pandemic going on. The girls come in, they have a positive attitude, they're practicing, they're valuing their time in the gym. I think we've learned not to take that time for granted. So we're getting every minute, soaking it up and hitting the ground running. And I've been so impressed with them as young women and as athletes. So with communication, I am holding them to the expectation that they are the primary communicator in this parent athlete coach relationship. So if your athlete has an issue or has a problem, I will expect them to come to their coaches first. If there is an extenuating circumstance or there's a situation that is more of an emergency situation, it is absolutely okay for you to reach out to us as coaches if it doesn't need to involve your athlete. But if there's a problem with something like playing time or position issues or a question of what do I need to improve, I will not speak to a parent about that. I will speak to the athlete about that. We are trying to raise young, independent women who can have those tough conversations and learn how to advocate for themselves before we send them off into the real world. So I think that that is a great skill that they can develop, and athletics is a premier place for them to develop that skill. So we will expect students to come to us first, sit down with us, talk to us. And if there's something else that it needs to involve the parent, I am absolutely open to that. But any time it comes down to those controllables for the athlete, they need to be talking to us first. If in this is very difficult for us to try to figure out kind of how to disseminate information with the season, if there are some big roadblocks that get thrown in our way, I would like to create a parent group me so that if there's something that we just need to send out, a cancellation, or some kind of information that we need to get to you parents very quickly, I would like to have that group available so that we can communicate. It's worked very well for the girls. They actually chose GroupMe over Schoology, so I think that is beneficial. But we'd like just a way to get a hold of you guys if we need to in a pinch. There are a lot of very strange things going on right now. One thing we're thrilled about is this new arena coming. It's just not coming right now. And we're getting this wonderful remodel in the South Gym. It's just not ready yet. So we're looking at a lot of hurdles ahead of us. It looks like right now we are going to play our games at Chaffin Junior High for a variety of reasons, but it offers more seating than we can currently have. When the South Gym is ready, we'll reassess. We'll take a look at it and see what we want to do. But the biggest thing is their ceiling. As a coach, I like their ceiling a little better right now than some of our other options. So we're going to go ahead and play at Chaffin. We're used to playing at Chaffin. We're going to make it home. And I think that's really good. At Chaffin right now, at any gym right now, our seating will be limited. I'm not sure. That's one of our unknown unknowns right now. They're working on a plan. I don't want to speak about it until I know for sure, but I know our parents will be priority. So when it comes to game time, we will allow a certain number, I believe, per student to get in. There will be marked seating where fans can sit together. The big difference is they will require you to be masked the entire time unless you are taking a drink or taking a bite of something to eat. Then the mask has to go right back up. They're asking that, when you guys are sitting together, not to sit together in groups unless it is a family. So one family together in one little pod and then spacing out. Honestly, as a coach, I think that's what we have to do too to protect our families. We don't want families exposed in the stands, and then that become an issue where several of our student athletes can't participate because there's been spread. We're just trying to be very, very cautious and adhere to those Department of Health guidance or guidelines that we're hearing about. We're still learning exactly what that will look like. Hopefully by Tuesday, when we do kind of a dry run, we will have answers for Thursday, which is our benefit match against Northside. This is a varsity only match, so there will not be a C team game. We will address that a little later in the week and kind of figure out what we need to do there. When we have events like this, we do want all of our athletes there to help us run this game very smoothly. We'll need ball girls. We'll need all hands on deck for warm-ups, things like that. We're looking at what our concession stand will look like. Everything is just very new and kind of coming at us fast. So hopefully we'll have some more answers. I will give that information to your student athletes, and then they can pass that along to you as well. It looks like all schools will have similar policies on who can get in and how many can get in. That way there's not an advantage just because a school has more seating. I'm hoping that we all hold that up at all of our schools. This is a very fluid situation. From what I'm understanding, the main things they passed down this week, we're playing all of our games, all of our non-conference and conference games. The difference is tournaments have been canceled. There was some verbiage that said we're allowed up to 20 games right now, which normally we're allowed to schedule 18 matches and 3 tournaments. So that would mean that we could add 2 more matches. I've been in contact with a coach, so I think we might have one. The plan could be to possibly play that on a Saturday because of the amount of travel, which would be fine. Right now, the plan is for them to come to us, but as soon as I get that approved, we will get it on the calendar. We do have the schedule that we sent out to the girls, I believe last week or the week before, so your daughter should have a PDF copy of our schedule. The tournaments at the end of the year, I'm not quite sure what they're planning for state tournament. That, of course, will change 47 times by the time we get here. So what I've heard is it's still on. We're just not allowed to have any additional weekend tournaments. As all of you know, our scheduling has changed at Southside. We're into block scheduling. I am absolutely thrilled about this. I think it'll be fantastic. The kids seemed pretty responsive to it. The only problem was with first period athletics, the way that schedule would look was very inconsistent. You might have morning practice on a Tuesday when we don't have practice because it's a game day, and then turn around and have afternoon practice the next day. Tracking which day we would have morning and afternoon practice just felt very unsteady. And I think that these girls have had enough instability without having a gym in a global pandemic. So we opted to switch to 7th period athletics, which means our practice time will be the same time every day, and we will more than likely be finished by 3:30, which is fantastic. I think this is great. We're not worried about 7 a.m. practices right now. We're going to come in every day at 1:26. I think that's when their bell rings. Still got to learn that bell schedule. And then we'll be able to hold, a good practice, hopefully in that South gym very soon. I've been told it's supposed to be done August 24th, ready to go. Not quite sure about that one, but I'm hoping maybe very soon after that. I will be in contact with our athletic director to find out what we are going to do if that gym is not ready for practice. Other than that, games should still be played at Chaffin too until we get a better handle on that situation. Bus traveling for games. We're looking at a few different options, but right now it looks like we are masked. We are spaced out. Hopefully I'll have more information before we travel. The first time we travel will be next Tuesday to Van Buren. So we should have some info soon on that. The only other things I can think of right now, we might need some concession stand help. I've heard that our booster club is getting more involved and that we might have some booster club workers to work some of those games. With everything being kind of up in the air and uncertain right now, I'm still waiting to hear back from that, but we might ask that we do have some parental support there. From what I understand, the booster club is wanting to be more involved, which would mean we would be involved as a parental group in maybe running some concession stands for other teams, like the basketball team. We always do one game in February. It may look like us working a few more, which is absolutely fine. But the booster club is also providing us with some great stuff so that we can buy huddle accounts. We can afford to buy a few more, t-shirt things for the girls. So we will kind of work with them to see what that schedule looks like. If anybody is willing to volunteer to spearhead that, I am more than happy. We need as much volunteer and as much help and as much support this year as we possibly could. We're navigating some choppy water, just trying to figure out how this all can go together safely. The safety of your athletes is my number one concern. Anything after that is icing on the cake, but we want to make sure that everybody is safe and taken care of. So I don't have a whole lot of answers, but I did just want to be able to touch base with you guys and let you know we are absolutely thrilled about this season. We're going to make the best of a really, really crappy situation, and we're going to put on a uniform and play this week, and I could not be more excited. I know you guys are excited to get to see them play as well. My email address, if you need to contact me, it is NTHRONE and the letter B at fortsmithschools.org. My cell phone number is 479-462-8700. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon.